Hey, welcome everybody. This is John Paul Mendocha, Dr. Speed Selling. This is the Raging Verbalist number 291. If you're keeping track, hopefully you are. Glad that you're back. If you're an old timer, if you're brand new, fantastic. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Why would you hit a like button? And if you want to be annoyed, hit the the notification button. We come on every week on Fridays on YouTube and also on my Facebook group, which is Position to Win Book, Position to Win Book. If you haven't got it, get it. There you go, Position to Win Book. Most businesses fail in the first 5 minutes is the title. Okay, go check it out. All right. So I don't drift off a lot into politics, but today we had an interesting thing that pops up. Sometimes we have big things that talk about other things, little annoyances or things that just kind of just go away. This has got to be discussed. So I went to the supermarket yesterday, local supermarket, the one that I go to all the time. And, for a long time, like the last 10, 11 years, I've been trained and conditioned somewhat that you either have to bring your own bag, this is like, bring your own booze kind of thing. It's bring your own bag to the supermarket or get charged a dime for each bag. Now, they were thick, heavy plastic bags and they were reusable, and that was the big push. And of course, this was all part of the plastic bag ban that got tossed in 2014, it turns out. Now, there weren't any plastic bags, there were just paper bags. Now, I had a couple of bags with me, and I said, "Hey, what's going on?" And the checker says, "Well, we're trying to get ahead of the trend because in California they're banning the thicker plastic bags, and we're going only to you're either going to have paper or you're going to have you're going to have whatever you bring." And I said, "Well, okay. Now, essentially there's 11 states that have plastic bag bans. And the reason for it, of course, is for pollution and the environment. And I get all of the laudable reasons. But these people who come up with these regulations don't understand much about human behavior, in my opinion. In fact, they don't have a clue, because what it turns out to be is that, well, we're actually having more plastic pollution since we had plastic bans than before. Now, why is that? What's driving this? Well, because they banned these what they call the single use, use it once, throw it away. I never did that, by the way. We reuse plastic bags. Maybe my upbringing and having parents that survived the Great Depression or whatever the hell it is. But I didn't just use them and once and throw them away. I reuse things. Why not? So they started charging me a dime. That became annoying. I had to deal with all of that, and then they always ask me, "Well, did you bring your bags? Do you have your bags? Do you need your bags?" And, well, no, put it all back in the cart and I'll figure it out when I drag it out to the van and do whatever I need to do. Got it. But anyway, they decided that they needed to go out there and do some studies. Well, what they found out is that, it turns out that there's more plastic bags than ever. And people would forget them and they wouldn't have them. And then, since not all bans were created equal, again, good intentions. Let me go off in a discursive, distractive way. When they decided that they wanted to change light bulbs, and I was all for that because electricity costs stupid money in California. I got it. Hey, let's get light for less watts. That was the whole push. Now, whenever they do these things, remember, politicians love to stand up in front of this, and they love, 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 love numbers, hate the freaking math. They just hate it. They don't want to tell you math. So they told us, hey, if we just switched light bulbs, it would change the rotation of the earth. The wobble would go away. We'd be perfect shape. Turned out not to be true. Also, they banned incandescent bulbs. People started hoarding incandescent bulbs. I knew people who bought tons of them. Well, that didn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, I got it. Now, I actually have gone all to LED light. Now, maybe you don't like it. I happen to like it. Turns out that it does save me energy because, of course, I'm producing my own electricity because of, solar panels, 40 solar rocking 40 solar panels on my roof. Why? Because, well, the state of California charged the crap out of me and motivated me to do it. Now, I like it. Oh, and by the way, now they keep changing the incentives. So good luck getting to their further goal, which is really having any energy independence. But that's, like I said, that's my distraction away. But, they made all these claims about the light bulb would solve everything. Well, the same thing with the plastic ban. on bags. It's going to change everything. It's all going to work out. It's going to be fantastic. And we're going to do that. But what they found out is that, well, it didn't work as they intended. Why? Why didn't this work? Why doesn't it work the way these people intend it to? And have all of these great goals and show how much this is going to work and how it's going to be magical. Well, unfortunately, people were buying the thicker bags at a dime a piece, which is an irritant. By the way, the store keeps the dime. It's just a hassle factor. It's just a little bit of a little nudge, a little knock on you. Hey, idiot, bring your bag back. But now the plastic ban was not effective. It created more waste, and it created more waste because after it was implemented, I'm going to make sure I read this correctly. The amount of plastic waste in California reached the highest levels on record. In fact, that didn't stop it. It kept going up. And in New Jersey, they also put in a plastic ban and had a similar impact. And according to research that linked plastic bag bans to the use of 6 times more woven and non-woven polypropylene, and there was a 500% increase in greenhouse gases from this. Guys, you're dealing with human nature. You have to give people more information and they have to make a choice. Humans suck at this. Can you guys just accept that? Okay, all right. Now, guess what? Researchers went on to find out that the non-woven polypropylene bag would need to be used at least 11 times to have a lower environmental impact than a supermarket plastic bag. And of course, their statement is, well, guess what? People didn't do it. It doesn't happen. Wow. They didn't need to go out and hire a study and spend a bunch of money and time. I could have told them that. Humans suck at this. So now we're going to be faced with yet another regulation, another change, another attempt to alter what? Alter our patterns, alter what we do, alter our behavior. Good luck. People may not really be into doing that. It's one of those annoying things. So now the environmentalists blame industry. Industry says it's overblown. I think it would be great if people used their common sense, but common sense is quite uncommon. And I've learned that over the years. That's why I've been teaching people about how to sell for, 20 something years, more than that. And what have I learned about that? I've learned that human nature is entirely predictable in its unbelievably slothy way that it does things. People don't do that. Now, of course, people are sitting there going, well, if we just had a better law. And of course, California was only too accommodating. And in 2024, they passed it. January of 26, we're going to end up getting where every single shopper, every single place is going to be, do you want a paper bag or did you bring your own bag? Great. That's what we're going to do. We're back to paper bags. Amazing. Oh, and paper, by the way, is recyclable. And the bags have to be 50% recycled paper. That's in the law. And of course, one of the things that they want to do is the environmentalists want to get more strident. And what they want to do is they want to say, well, we want to start enforcing this. We want to start going out there and going and pushing this and seeing what we can do. Now, they end their report by saying bag bans can work if done right. Yeah, East Germany worked great. It had the highest number of police state to human or to normal population. So they have the potential to reduce this. And frankly, this is what they need to do is close those loopholes, close them fast. Just like we've talked about the USB-C, one cable to rule them all. Bullshit, but that's another issue we've already talked about. So they talk about that single-use plastic bans aren't going to solve the plastic pollution crisis, but as they say, it's an important piece of the puzzle. They close and will close with this. We need to be reducing use of production of plastic, stopping the problem at the source to effectively close and curb the pollution crisis. But what we need to do is we need to make it more usable, more refillable, and more of those things. All I can say is good luck, crowd. We're going to see more rules, going to see more regulations, and it's going to be a great way to signal a dog whistle that we're doing something. And what you're really doing is pissing people off instead of getting people to be willing to do that. By the way, I've been recycling for decades. I know I want the money. And I've been doing a variety of things, but all I can tell you is that I'm not sitting here in a virtuous, high on top of the mountain saying, yep, it's all going to work. So we're going to go through another bag ban. We're going to go through and waste energy and time and all of that. Make it economics. I guess you could charge more, could charge $100 a bag, but then that would probably be viewed as, punitive against those who couldn't afford $100 a bag. All I can say is I get into arguments with my wife on a consistent basis of, do we have the bags? Don't have the bags? What are you going to do with the bags? Don't buy more bags. It goes on and on and on. End of the day, if you want to change human behavior, good luck. Because all I can say is that you can give people the information. What they do with it is their own thing. My suggestion for all of this, as a libertarian, which is where I'll drift a little bit into politics, is let the market choose, let the market work on it, and figure out how to build something that is actually usable and all of those other things. And why don't people reuse the bags? Simple. Wasn't addressed in what I read. Could be somewhere, but wasn't addressed. And you know what it is? I'll give you the answer right now. People they buy the bags, they pay their 10 cents, they have the heavy plastic bags, which they're not going to sell anymore. And a lot of, they're not going to be allowed to. It's going to be against the law. Oh yeah, got against the law. We got shit in the streets, but no, that's going to be against the law because that's going to fix this problem. And they buy stuff, they put it in the bags, and then they carry those bags from vehicle to their house. They unload the bags. They do all that stuff. What doesn't happen is, how do the bags miraculously get back in the vehicle so the next time somebody goes to the store, they go and remember to bring the bags in, repeat the cycle and do all of this. And do it at least 11 times before you have the curves crossed and make that work. If that sounds insane and absurd, if it sounds like human nature will always fail you, count on it. And with that, the raging verbalist, myself, I'm going to say I'm betting on human nature not changing, because all I can say is human nature is what I have made my living and my clients' living. If you want to learn how to do that, if you want to learn how to sell better, give me a shout. Also, go check out my book. Most businesses fail in the first 5 minutes. It just takes them 3 to 5 years to realize it, position to win. We're not going to tell you some unicorn hokey crap about how this is going to all work out if you just ban bags. It's all going to be good. And by the way, quit over promising and under delivering, because all I can say is that the bags will magically stack up and maybe they'll make it back to the car, but they usually don't. And with that, I'm John Paul Mendocha, Dr. Street Selling. This has been the Raging Verbalist number 291. Go and have a great day and go get your bags before it's too late, everybody, because you know what? You never know what they're going to ban next.